Hello there, and to all who come to this happy place, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Abby and I upload Disney planning content here on my channel. This week I am doing a best of 2020 list type series for you to use for your Disney World 2021 trip planning. So, yesterday I talked about the top, well, I ranked all 8 resorts that I stayed at in 2020. When I'm doing these videos, I am only talking about 2020 events. So, I'm not talking about anything from previous years because I want to make sure you have the most up-to-date information. So today we're going to be talking about my 10 favorite restaurants that we ate at in 2020. And then I do have 2 honorable mentions that were still really good, but that just didn't make it in the top 10. So number 10 is going to be Chef Mickey's. Now, we ate at Chef Mickey's twice, and both of this was before characters came back. They just came back the other day. So I have not been there since the characters have returned. However, we've been there like many times over the years. So Chef Mickey's used to be a buffet, but now it is family style. And let me tell you, I really like the family style at all of these different character restaurants. The buffet style, first of all, buffets are just germy. They're just not a good idea even before there was a pandemic. So I hope buffets never return. I don't think that they will. Like, that's just like a worldwide thing. I don't think buffets are coming back. Or I'm hopeful that they'll never come back. But now all the food is brought to you, and as someone with allergies, they bring me my own like separate things because I can't have anything that has touched anything gluten. So I have a lot of allergies, but gluten's the big one. So I can't have anything that touched. So they bring me my own, and then they bring everyone else like serving things. They usually just bring me a plate, but they bring bowls of scrambled eggs, and they bring like plates of bacon and all that kind of stuff. So it's like you're just sitting down for a family dinner. So I really like that. I also have never had a complaint about the Chef Mickey's food. Then again, I am fully capable of eating like a toddler at times. So if you're into like fancier food, it's probably not the place for you, because it is pretty basic food, but it's all good. And before characters came back, it was also a really great deal. It was $25 per adult. Now, I went for breakfast both times, so I'm not quite sure what the lunch or dinner pricing was. But at $25 per person, I felt like it was a good deal. We ate it as like a brunch, so it was like a very late breakfast, but we made it our lunch. The next restaurant on our list is Backlot Express, which is a quick service restaurant over at Hollywood Studios. It's over next to Star Tours. We ate here at least once, maybe twice. I think we might have eaten here twice in 2020. The food here was really good. It was surprisingly good. Now it is, I think it was mostly burgers and sandwich type of food. But quick service in Hollywood is kind of all like that. There's not a lot of like variety. So yeah. But as someone, I know I have like quite a few celiac viewers out there. The burger at Backlot Express, I bit into it and I panicked that it wasn't a gluten-free bun because the bun was so good. And then I took it back over and I was like, are you sure this is a gluten-free bun? Because like I'll get really sick. Like that's why I went over. Like if I kept eating that, like that one bite would have made me sick, but a whole bun would have made me really sick. And they're like, no, yeah, I prepared that myself. That's a gluten-free bun. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it was really good. My brother got like a super fancy burger. I don't know. It had a lot of stuff on it. I don't know. But we were all really happy with our meals there, and it was quick service. So that's always a plus. The next restaurant on my list, so number 8, is Liberty Tree Tavern. We hadn't been here in like probably 4 years or so, and I didn't have super high hopes. It's like Thanksgiving, no matter what day it is there. So it's like turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and mac and cheese, and there's like a salad, and the ooey gooey toffee cake. I can't eat that, but that's like one of the things that people rave about. It was all really good, including the gluten-free mac and cheese that they brought me. Was not expecting it at all. I'm like used to not eating mac and cheese, which is fine because I don't really like restaurant mac and cheese as a whole. But anyway, we really liked Liberty Tree Tavern. Would definitely go back. The one thing about Liberty Tree Tavern is that they used to have an a la carte option at lunch. I don't believe that they still do. I think it's just the prefix, like all you can eat meal right now. And a lot of places that had that option, which there weren't that many of, but I think they're all doing that right now. 7, there wasn't a lot to say on Liberty Tree Tavern, so I'm not just gonna keep talking about it. Number 7 was the wave of American flavors over at the Contemporary Resort. Now, if you're staying on the monorail, it's super convenient, but if you're in Magic Kingdom, it's also super convenient. You can walk over to the Contemporary, you can also take a boat, or you can take the monorail. So there's lots of ways to get there. And it's a great way to just get away from the parks for a little bit and like relax and take a chill pill, basically. We ate here, I think on a Magic Kingdom day. Like, oh, I think we were staying at Polynesian, and no, yeah, we ate there on departure day when we were staying at Polynesian. But let me tell you, we got 3 different sandwiches. I think my brother got some kind of chicken. I got a turkey club, and my mom got a Reuben. And they were all so good. But the real, like, star of the show over there is the waffle fries. These waffle fries, like, I can't even explain to you how good they were. Like, if you're a waffle fry fan, you gotta go there. I have also heard that about Geyser Point. I have never been to Geyser Point. That's like the pool bar over at Wilderness Lodge. But if you're a waffle fry fan, make sure you make it over to the Wave. I should mention about the Wave that you can also mobile order there right now. You can do that at a lot of the resort restaurants because it's just like giving another option for dining. So the mobile ordering was not as good as the sitting down. So don't fully expect the same food. I mean, the food is the same, but the quality is not quite as good. It is also cheaper. So you got just consider that. It's never very crowded there. I've never seen it very crowded, so I don't think it would take super long if you wanted to sit down for a quick meal without doing mobile order. I don't think you'd have a problem at all. Oh, and the other thing, I just heard, I haven't had the steak there, but I heard it is the same steak that they serve at California Grill. So next time I go, I will be having steak just to test it out. Not that I've been to California Grill yet, but it's on the list. Number 6 on my list is gonna be Topolinos Terrace. Topolinos Terrace was the first restaurant to reopen with character dining when Disney opened, or reopened after Corona. The character dining part of it is a socially distanced character dining. So the characters come and they walk around the resort, or not the resort, the restaurant, and they stop in all the corners and they wave and they dance and they sing. They don't sing, they like, they celebrate. It's cute. But they do like a little parade and it's very cute. I didn't have a problem with them not stopping at our table. And you also got to see them more than you would have. Like when you do a character meal in normal circumstances, you see them once and then they don't come back. But this was like, there was a new character, like one would go in and within 5 minutes another one was out. So we saw the same characters come through like many times. So you actually see them more than you would in normal times. So I thought that's kind of nice. The food was really good. It's only character at breakfast and we've only done breakfast. I've done it twice now though. I had the Mickey waffle both times and super tasty. Everyone else really liked their food too. They also have a basket of like pastries that comes out. My pastries were delicious and you know, for gluten free, that's saying something. But the regular pastries also look delicious and everyone that I've eaten with has also enjoyed their meal. But next on my list is Regal Eagle Smokehouse. So this is number 5. This is a quick service restaurant over in Epcot. It is new. It opened in February. It opened right between my trips. I think it opened between my 2 trips in February. So it was amazing. It used to be, I don't even remember what it used to be called, but one of my roommates from my college program worked at the restaurant that it used to be, and it was just like chicken tenders and cheeseburgers and french fries. Now though, it's like homemade barbecue food. It's so good. I always get the brisket sandwich. It's like made on Texas toast, like garlic bread. Oh my God, it's so good. They have homemade pickles that people rave about. I'm not a fan of pickles. I did try them once. I'm kind of particular about pickles though. I like a 2 brands and like certain kinds. So I'm a particular pickle person, but try saying that 3 times fast. The French fries are really good. The sandwich is really what I'm there for. But everyone that I've eaten there with has loved it. We've all, like, that's the only place I want to eat in World Showcase now. Now, to be fair, I can't really eat anywhere else in World Showcase. So, anyway. Highly recommend Regal Smokehouse. For sure. The number 4 on my list is Three Bridges Bar over at Coronado Springs. This is a resort dining location, and it is a waterside is not really the right word. It's like in the middle of the water at Coronado Springs. There's a bunch of bridges from different areas of the resorts, and then it's in the middle of the lake. It's delicious. You can mobile order there, but we sat down there 2 nights in a row when we stayed there in November. We got the queso, which had like chorizo, it had like peppers, and I don't even know what was in it. I'm gonna insert a video of this food because it was so good. And then for dessert, I think Abby had tiramisu, and then I had the gluten-free churros. There are 2 places you can get gluten-free churros in Disney World, in case you were wondering. One is at Nomad Lounge, and the other is at Coronado Springs. We also had like really nice servers there both times. They were really super funny guys, like so sweet. So that also just made us enjoy things more. The next thing on my list is Raglan Road. This is a favorite of ours over the years, and we ate there twice this year, I think. I usually just snack there. I usually just get the gluten-free onion rings and then a drink. But this time we went for dinner and I had some sort of burger. It was some fancy burger. I don't know what it was, but it was really good. I think it was like a different kind of meat, which I'm not usually like the biggest meat person, but so good. They have a lot of like Irish food there. They have like, I think fish and chips is what my brother had. I don't remember what my mom had, but they have all the classic Irish food. And we always enjoyed there. And they do have live performers. We did not see them on our last trip because we were a large group, so we were not in the main dining room. But they do have like, sometimes they have Irish dancers, sometimes they have Irish bands. Number 2 on my list is one of my all-time favorites, and that is Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. We go here as often as we possibly can. If we're going to Hollywood Studios, you can bet we're probably going to Sci-Fi. They have super delicious milkshakes. I always get the buffalo chicken tenders, so. And they have really good steak fries here. They're not like the typical theme park food fries. Just talking about fries as much as making me never want to eat a French fry again. Anyway, but French fries there are really good. And I will say this doesn't work for big groups that well. We went as a group of 12 back in 2018, and yeah, the cars, when you go into this restaurant, you're sitting in cars like you're at a drive-in movie. So you're sitting 2 by 2. So you don't really see the rest of your party. You can like turn around and talk to the people behind you, and the people in front of you can turn around and talk to you, but the cars only fit 6. So if you are a larger party, you will be split up, and that can be problematic, especially if you have smaller kids, but I think it's so fun. Just something to keep in mind. And it's also dark, so I wouldn't, like, we were supposed to be in Disney right now. Unfortunately, we have healthcare workers in the family who are not allowed to travel, so we did have to cancel our trip. But we were taking my grandma, and she is older, and we didn't feel comfortable taking her there because it's so dark in there and she can't really see well in the dark. So that is something I would keep in mind if you're considering Sci-Fi. A good alternative would be 50's Primetime Cafe. I don't like it as much as Sci-Fi, but I think a lot of people like it better than Sci-Fi. I just personally don't. But that's on that. Now, my number 1 restaurant was like, people are gonna be like, really? This is your number 1 restaurant? But yes. And that is Beaches and Cream. This is an ice cream shop over at the Beach Club Resort. And we had the best experience here. It was our very first time there. I have tried to get a reservation there for years, but because it's not at a park, it never like jumps into my mind like, hey, I wanted to eat here, until like way after my dining date when I've already made plans and then I can't get a reservation for it. It's a whole, this happens every trip for years, but it's fine. So we finally got over there in October and it was the best experience. Again, as I've mentioned 18 million times in this video, I have a lot of allergies. So when I sit down at a restaurant, I always like have to talk to the chef and they tell them what my issues are, and then they tell me, yes, you can have that, I can substitute that, blah, blah, blah. So Chef TJ came out at Beaches and Cream and he said, what do you feel like? And usually they give you a menu of like what's good for different allergies, and the grilled cheese, which is one of the things that they're famous for, is their grilled cheese and tomato soup. The grilled cheese was not listed as gluten-free, but if you ask, sometimes they can still do it. So I asked if the grilled cheese could be made gluten-free, and he said that it could. So I ended up having grilled cheese. I could not have the tomato soup. There's wheat used as the thickener, I believe, over there. I've actually never found tomato soup on Disney property that I can eat, so I'm assuming it's the same tomato soup everywhere. But yeah, couldn't have the tomato soup. So he suggested, you know, I can just do fries and whatever, that's fine. We were really here for the ice cream, but the grilled cheese was a plus. And I was really craving a grilled cheese at this point because I went with my mom and my brother and my best friend Alicia, who's been in a lot of my vlogs lately. And she was talking for days about how excited she was about the grilled cheese at Beaches and Cream because we've heard so much about it. So I was really hoping I'd be able to have a grilled cheese. So he brings it out, it's delicious. And when he brings it out, he says, are you going to have dessert? And I said, yes. And he said, can I make you something? And I thought he like meant like, oh, when you're ready for dessert, can I make you whatever you order? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, do you like chocolate? And I'm like, oh, he's like making me a dessert. And I said, yes, I like chocolate. So this guy goes in the back, and throughout our meal, he keeps coming over and he's like, do you like apples? And then he disappears. And he says, do you like berries? Do you like blah? And I'm like, what is he doing? So dessert time rolls around, and like the rest of them got the fancy like sundaes with the cupcakes on top and the blah, blah, blah. And then Chef TJ comes out with an ice cream sundae. I'm gonna insert a picture here. It was taller than my entire upper torso, like all huge, huge. It was these tiny little balls of ice cream, and then like there were brownies, and there was a couple balls of ice cream, and then there were brownie, and then a couple balls of ice cream, and then there was a brownie, and then at the very bottom of this cup, underneath more ice cream, was chocolate covered apples. Like, what? It was the best dessert ever. It was specially made for me. And he was like giddy over the fact that he was able to do it. Like there were like chopsticks, and it was like, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how it didn't melt on the way to me. It was a mess, but it was so fun. So highly recommend Beaches and Cream. And if you have allergies, ask for Chef TJ. And if he is working, you want him to make you a dessert. That was definitely my favorite dining experience at all year. 2 honorable mentions on this list. We always enjoy Be Our Guest and Whispering Canyon Cafe. Be Our Guest is in Magic Kingdom, and Whispering Canyon Cafe is at Wilderness Lodge. They're both really good, but like Be Our Guest, I only need to do it a couple of times, like every couple of years now. I've done it twice in 2020 and it's good, but like I would prefer if they brought back the quick service option there. Right now it's completely like prefix. I think it's it's somewhere between $65 and $75 a person for an adult. And I just, like, you're there for a long time. We were there for an hour and a half to 2 hours both times we were there, and it just eats up a lot of your park day. The food is really good, but I don't know. It's just, it's so expensive and it takes so long. I think it's a once every couple of years kind of thing for us now. Whispering Canyon Cafe is also really good. I also just like that they gave me a boozy milkshake. That was good. And they let me take it with me, which I don't think they were really supposed to do, but they did. They put it in a to-go cup for me. But those are some honorable mentions for you. We ate at a lot of other places that were perfectly good. We've not really had any bad experiences dining in Disney, but those were our best. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, tap the red subscribe button down below, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the 10 best attractions in Walt Disney World. And I bet you could guess a couple of them, but others you might be surprised. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye!